for gentlemen. There are two levels of meditation. One is concentration of mind. Another one is contemplation of physical body, feelings, mind, and phenomena to develop the right wisdom on conditions of all natures, compound and non-compound things, leading to development of right wisdom in the Four Noble Truths. For the first stage of meditation, that is concentration of mind, you sit in meditating position. Make yourself upright. Close your eyelids gently. Imagine a sphere. The size is equivalent to your eyeball, and let the center of the sphere locate at your right nostril aperture. This is the first station of your mind to stop over there. The word mind means the sphere of vision, the sphere of memory, the sphere of thought, and the sphere of awareness. These four natural spheres are called the mind. In order to concentrate your mind, let's imagine a sphere. At the first station, that is at your right nostril aperture, you imagine the center of the sphere over there. Observe your breathing in and out which pass through the sphere, so that you see the sphere clearer. Along with reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang to the center of the sphere. The word Samma, S-A-M-A, means Lord Buddha's right enlightenment in the Four Noble Truths, that is, right wisdom. Arahang, A-R-A-N-G, or A-R-A-M, that is Sanskrit. But in Bali, we pronounce Arahang, means Lord Buddha's purity. When you first reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, along with imagining the center of the sphere, you may bring in your mind, or you wish that Lord Buddha's virtues in terms of right wisdom and purity be with you in your mind, and then keep continuing imagining the center of the sphere along with reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere continually, so that your mind components be at one point. Then you move mentally the sphere into your nose and then upward slowly to stop at your right eye socket. Keep reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere. Then you move the sphere mentally directly to the center of your head. Recite the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang. This is the third station of the mind stopping. Assume that your head is as bright as daylight. Now we are bringing our mind downward. We have tactic in bringing our mind downward by rolling your eyeballs backward a little bit, so that your mind components be at the same point, be backward and downward, while you move the sphere downward slowly to stop at your palate as the fourth station of mind. Recite the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere to keep your mind peaceful. Then move downward again to stop at your throat aperture as the fifth station of your mind stopping. Recite the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere. Observe your breathing in and out, which ends at the center of the sphere in line of your navel level. Then move the sphere downward slowly, directly, until the center of the sphere stops still at the center of the body, in line of your navel level. Keep reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere. This is the sixth station of the mind stop. Then move the sphere upward about 2 inches above your navel level. This is the seventh station of your mind stop. Assume that it is the permanent place where your mind performs duties. Keep your mind peaceful by imagining the center of the sphere, along with reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, continually and mindfully. Make your mind as bright as daylight, until your mind components be more and more peaceful, and then stop still at the center of the body. There will appear your own real nucleus. The standard size is about egg yolk. It can be even larger, equivalent to the moon or the sun. Very bright and refined. Whenever you see that, no longer recite the word Samma Arahang. Just focus attention to the center of the bright and refined sphere. You will see the little 5 small spheres inside. That is the front, the right, the rear, and the left, and the center. The right is the refined water element. The left, the earth element. The rear or the back is fire element. The left is the wind element. Another one at the center is the space element. All of these refined elements control the liquid and all body's organs, including wind, including temperature of your body. When you see that, you stop still or concentrate your mind at the center of the space element. You will see your recognition elements at the center of the space, equivalent to the seed of banyan tree, or even larger, very bright and refined. You focus attention to the center of the center. When your mind components properly concentrate, the center expands itself. The brighter and more refined spheres will appear accordingly. You focus attention at the center of the brighter and more refined spheres until you reach the most refined and the brightest one. All right, for the time being, go on with this procedure. If you haven't seen yet, keep continuing reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere, at the center of the body, about 2 inches above your navel level, above your navel level. Go on with this procedure. ท่านอื่นนอกนั้นปฏิบัติไป For gentlemen, if you haven't seen yet, keep continuing imagining a sphere and focusing your attention to the center of the sphere you imagine. Observe your breathing in and out which pass through the sphere. But no need to follow your breathing. Just be mindful at the center of the sphere you imagine, along with reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang continually and mindfully until your mind components properly concentrate at the center of the body. There will appear your own real nucleus, which is very bright and refined. Whenever you see that, don't be so excited. Calm down your mind. No longer recite the word Samma Arahang. Just focus attention to the center of the sphere. You may roll your eyeballs backward a little bit all the time so that your mind components be more effectively concentrate at the center of the center. Until your mind components perfectly concentrate at the center of the sphere, the center expands itself. The brighter and more refined spheres will appear accordingly. You just focus attention at the center of the newly refined ones until you reach the most refined and the brightest one. Stop still at the center of the brightest one. When your mind components properly concentrate, the center expands itself. Your own refined bodies usually will be the refined human body of yourself, will appear accordingly, about the same size as the crude body is, but looks nicer and be transparent. In meditating cross-leg, in meditating position, on round pedestal, whenever you see that, don't be reluctant. You become the newly refined human body right way. Detach your whole feeling from the crude one. Become the newly refined body. The refined body, it can be the others, more refined. But usually, we'll begin with the human body, the refined human body. You become the refined human body. Stop still at the center of the center until the whole body, the sphere and the round pedestal are most refined. Whenever your mind components properly concentrate, the center expands itself. The more refined bodies looks nicer than before, larger than before. More radius will appear accordingly, one by one. You go on with this procedure. That is, you become the newly refined body. Focus attention to the center of the refined body sphere until the whole body, the sphere and round pedestal are most refined. Go on with this procedure. Until you see Dhammagaya, of which the size is about 9 meters in height and width, very radius. In meditating position, whenever you see that you become that Dhammagaya right way, Focus attention to the center of the body, at the center of the sphere, until the whole body and the sphere and round pedestal are most refined. Be noted that the diameter of the sphere of Dhammakaya is equivalent to the height and the width of Dhammakaya. This is the difference between Dhammakaya and the other's body. Go on with this procedure. If you haven't seen, you still keep continuing, reciting the word Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere continually. Whenever you see the sphere, stop still at the center of the newly refined spheres until you reach the most refined and the brightest one. Stop still there at the center of the center until the center expands itself. The refined bodies will appear accordingly. You become that refined body. Focus attention to the center of the sphere, at the center of the refined body, until the whole body, the sphere and round pedestal are most refined. Go on with this procedure one by one until you reach and become Dhammakaya. Don't press your mind so hard. For gentlemen, focus attention to the center of the sphere. If you haven't seen the very clear sphere yet, keep continuing imagining the center of the sphere along with reciting the words Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang at the center of the sphere until your mind components perfectly concentrate. Your own real sphere will appear accordingly. You just focus attention to the center of the brighter and more refined spheres until you reach the most refined and the brightest one. Focus attention to the center of the brightest and the most refined one. When your mind components properly concentrate at the center of the sphere, the center will expand itself. Your own refined human body will appear accordingly. Looks very like you yourself, but transparent. Looks nicer than before, than the crude body. Sitting on round pedestal. Whenever you see any refined body, beginning with the refined human body, you become that refined body right way. Focus attention to the center of the sphere, at the center of the refined body, until the whole body, the sphere and round pedestal are most refined. When your mind perfectly at the center, concentrate at the center of the sphere. The center expands itself. Then the more refined, brighter and larger refined body will appear accordingly. Looks nicer, brighter and larger than before. You become that refined body right way. Focus attention to the center of the sphere at the center of the refined body until the whole body, the sphere and round pedestal are most refined. Go on with this procedure one by one body. Then When your mind be at the most peaceful and the purest state of mind, the center expands itself. Then Dhammakaya, of which the size of the sphere, of the height and the width, about 9 meters in height and width, will appear accordingly, very huge, very bright. Whenever you see that, you become that Dhammakaya right away. Focus attention to the center of the sphere at the center of the body, until the whole body, the sphere and round pedestal are most refined. Go on with this procedure until you reach the most refined and the brightest one. Whenever your mind is the most peaceful or well concentrated, you may contemplate, beginning with physical body. You may pick up the hair on your head to consider, contemplate, to see as they really are. For example, be impure and be impermanent, subject to change, and finally be destroyed, become non-self. You may consider one by one organs which you are most familiar with, beginning from the hair upon your head, the hair around your body, the nail, the teeth in your mouth, that you can see clearly that all over are impure, become permanent, impermanent, subject to change, and finally be destroyed, be non-self. By this, you will earn right wisdom in all compound things, beginning with the living compound things like human beings as a whole, become impermanent, subject to change, and non-self. All right, before we have a rest, you concentrate your mind at the center of the center, as the most peaceful you can, and the brightest as you can. Then you express your loving kindness to all world beings. Also convey your merits you have performed from the past up to the present to all world beings, especially your parents, your relatives, your friends, colleagues, whether they are human beings or in the other worlds, like celestial world or creatures world, etc. And make a wish that Lord Buddha bless all of us to lead our peacefully happy life without sufferings and problems forever. And then you may relax and receive blessing. ทุกท่านเมื่อท่านได้พิจารณาสภาวะธรรมแล้วอุทิศส่วนกุศลแผ่เมตตาแล้วตั้งใจรับพรสัพเพพุทธาภลปัตตาปัจเจกานันจะยังพลังอรหันตานันจะเตเชนะรักขังพันธามิสัพพโสเตอัตตลัทธาสุขิตาวิรุณหาพุทธศาสเนอโรคาสุขิตาโหทะ สหสัพเพหิยาติภิภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสทาโสถีภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนะสทาโสถีภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังขานุภาเวนะสทาโสถีภวันตุเตกราบพระ So let's pay homage to the triple gems, prostrating for 3 times. อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภควาพุทธังภควันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภควตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภควโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามิ